We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yet, how many of us find ourselves at the end of the day feeling like we've accomplished nothing? Time is a gift, and if we don't treat it with respect, it slips away faster than we can imagine. Today, I want to share with you 5 powerful rules to stop wasting time to help you reclaim control and use your moments wisely. First, recognize the value of time. Time is one of the most precious resources we have. Once it's gone, we can never get it back. Many of us waste time without even realizing it, letting it slip through our fingers. The first step to stop wasting time is understanding its value. You need to treat every minute like it's an investment in your future. By recognizing how valuable your time is, you begin to understand that every moment counts. Second, prioritize what matters. We live in a world full of distractions. From social media to endless emails, we're constantly bombarded with things that demand our attention. But not everything is worth your time. Take a step back and ask yourself, what are my true priorities? Once you identify them, you can begin to eliminate things that don't align with your goals. When you prioritize what matters, you are no longer letting time slip away on activities that don't move you closer to your dreams. Third, break free from procrastination. We've all been there putting things off, telling ourselves we'll do it later. But here's the truth, procrastination is just a fear of taking action. It's an illusion that convinces us that we have more time than we really do. Overcome procrastination by focusing on the present moment. Take one small step, even if it's just a tiny task. The momentum will build. Remember, action breeds action. You can't wait for the perfect time to start. It's time to act now. Fourth, build positive habits. Habits shape your life. If you find yourself wasting time, it's often because you have habits that support it. Take control by replacing those time-wasting habits with positive ones. Create routines that align with your goals. Whether it's setting aside time each day for deep work or starting your morning with a meditation, small shifts in your habits can have a big impact. The more you build consistent habits, the less room you leave for time-wasting behaviors. And finally, embrace the power of focus. We live in a world that rewards multitasking, but the truth is, multitasking is a time killer. Focus on one thing at a time. When you give your full attention to the task at hand, not only do you finish faster, but the quality of your work improves. Practice deep focus and watch your productivity soar. Time is the one thing we can't get back, so it's crucial we spend it wisely. By understanding its value, prioritizing what truly matters, overcoming procrastination, building positive habits, and focusing on the present, you'll stop wasting time and start making the most of every moment. Start today. Don't let another minute pass you by. Your future self will thank you for it. Time is one of the most valuable assets we have, yet it is often the one we take for granted. From the moment we wake up until we go to bed, time is constantly moving forward, and once it is gone, we cannot get it back. This reality makes time incredibly precious, and the key to truly maximizing its potential is understanding its value. When we understand the value of time, we begin to see it differently. Time is not just something that happens passively to us, but something that we actively engage with and make choices about. Every decision we make about how we spend our time has an impact on our lives, whether positive or negative. It shapes our future, our success, and our sense of fulfillment. Yet too often we let time slip away without realizing the consequences of our inaction or misplaced focus. This understanding must be the foundation for everything we do. Consider this: time, unlike money or material things, cannot be earned back. You can lose money and work hard to make it back, but once a minute, hour, or day is gone, it's gone for good. Reflect on that for a moment. This is the reason it's so critical to treat time as a precious resource. Imagine you had a bank account that refilled every morning with a set amount of money, but each evening the balance resets to zero. You would be very deliberate about how you spent that money, right? You would track every penny, consider every purchase, and avoid spending unnecessarily. Time operates in a similar way. It's limited, and each day is a fresh opportunity to make the most of it. Recognizing time's value shifts your perspective. When you begin to truly appreciate the finite nature of time, you realize how easily it can slip through your fingers. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day routine, checking emails, scrolling through social media, engaging in unnecessary conversations, or even just waiting for things to happen. But each of those moments is a decision about where you invest your time. The first step in valuing time is to become more mindful of how you spend it. Awareness is key. Start paying attention to how much time you waste on things that don't serve you or align with your goals. This might mean taking a hard look at the time you spend in front of a screen, watching television, or indulging in activities that provide temporary comfort but long-term regret. The more you observe how you're spending your time, the more you'll start to see patterns. You might find that certain habits are eating up your precious minutes without adding any value to your life. Once you recognize this, you can make more intentional choices about where to focus your energy. Another aspect of understanding time's value is recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to make progress. Time is not something you can pause, rewind, or stretch. You can't stop it, slow it down, or manipulate it. It moves forward, regardless of whether or not you're paying attention. When you understand that time will pass with or without your effort, you begin to grasp the importance of making the most of every single moment. You realize that every minute you spend on something that doesn't move you toward your goals is a minute you'll never get back. The value of time also lies in its ability to create compounding results. Think about how small, consistent actions over time can create big changes. Whether it's exercising a little each day, reading a few pages of a book each night, or saving small amounts of money regularly, time gives you the power to build momentum and create results. But if you're not intentional about your time, the opposite can happen. Small, unproductive habits can compound as well, leading to wasted years instead of achieved goals. The value of time is not just about productivity or achieving success. It's also about the quality of life you lead. How you spend your time affects your relationships, your mental health, your physical well-being, and your sense of purpose. When you use your time intentionally, you're more likely to find fulfillment in the things that matter most to you. Whether that's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or simply enjoying a sense of peace and balance. To truly value time, we must shift our mindset. Instead of thinking about time as something we're always chasing, we need to view it as a finite, precious gift. When we do, we make better choices about how we spend it. We stop allowing distractions and trivial activities to consume our days, and we begin to invest our time in things that enrich our lives and bring us closer to our dreams. Understanding the value of time transforms the way we approach life. It reminds us that every moment is an opportunity, and we must choose wisely how we use it. Time is the most valuable asset you'll ever have. Don't let it slip away unnoticed. In a world filled with constant distractions, setting clear priorities has become more important than ever. The sheer volume of choices we face daily can easily overwhelm us, making it difficult to decide what truly deserves our time and energy. Yet the ability to prioritize what matters most is a skill that can significantly change the course of our lives. By learning to prioritize, we take control of how we spend our time and ensure that we focus on the things that truly make a difference in our lives. The first step in setting clear priorities is recognizing that not everything is equally important. We often hear the phrase, everything is a priority, but the truth is that not all tasks, goals, or obligations carry the same weight. Many things in our lives can be classified into categories such as urgent, important, or trivial. The challenge is knowing which ones belong in which category and acting accordingly. If we treat every task as a top priority, we risk losing sight of what truly moves us toward our goals. This is why learning to distinguish between what matters most and what is simply urgent or distracting is essential. One of the best ways to identify your true priorities is by reflecting on your values and long-term goals. What do you want your life to look like a year, 5 years, or 10 years, or 10 years from now? What are the things that truly matter to you, the things that will bring you fulfillment and joy? When you align your priorities with your values and your big picture goals, you begin to make decisions that will lead you in the direction of your dreams. This process of self-reflection can help you gain clarity about what is worth your time and what is better left behind. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become reactive, responding to whatever comes our way without a clear plan. The constant pull of emails, social media notifications, phone calls, and meetings can easily distract us from what truly matters. But by setting clear priorities, we stop letting external circumstances dictate our time. Instead, we start making intentional decisions about where to focus our energy. It's about taking a step back and being proactive, making sure that we are working on the things that move us forward rather than simply putting out fires or responding to the demands of the moment. Setting clear priorities also means learning to say no. Saying no can be difficult, especially when we want to be helpful, liked, or busy. We might feel guilty for turning down invitations, requests, or opportunities. However, the truth is that saying yes to everything often means saying no to the things that truly matter. When we say yes to tasks that don't align with our goals, we end up spreading ourselves too thin, leaving little time or energy for the things that will truly move us towards success. Learning to say no is not about being rude or dismissive, but rather about protecting our time and energy so we can focus on what truly deserves our attention. Time management is closely linked to prioritization. The way we organize our day plays a crucial role in whether or not we can stay focused on what matters. For example, creating a to-do list and organizing tasks based on importance can be an effective strategy. Prioritizing your most important task first thing in the day ensures that you tackle the things that matter most when you have the most energy and focus. On the other hand, leaving these tasks for the end of the day when you're tired or distracted can lead to procrastination and subpar results. Having a clear structure for your day where you prioritize key tasks ensures that you spend your time wisely and effectively. Another crucial aspect of prioritization is the willingness to let go of things that no longer serve you. As you evolve and grow, your priorities may shift. What once felt important may no longer hold the same value, and that's okay. Letting go of outdated priorities can free up mental and emotional space for new opportunities and goals. This might mean reevaluating relationships, career choices, or personal habits. It's important to regularly check in with yourself and ask whether the things you're prioritizing are still in alignment with your current values and aspirations. Setting clear priorities is also about maintaining balance. It's easy to become consumed by one area of life, whether that's work, family, or personal ambitions, but true success comes when we can prioritize multiple aspects of our lives in harmony. For example, we must ensure that our relationships, health, and personal growth are just as important as our career goals. Achieving balance requires ongoing effort and reassessment as the demands on our time change over time. By setting clear priorities, we ensure that we are devoting time to all the key areas that contribute to a fulfilled life. Setting clear priorities empowers us to live with intention. It helps us stay focused on what matters most and avoid getting lost in the chaos of daily life. When we set our priorities based on our values and goals, we make decisions that bring us closer to the life we truly desire. It's about taking ownership of our time and ensuring that we are spending it in ways that support our vision for the future. By learning to prioritize, we are not only improving our productivity and success, but also our overall sense of fulfillment and peace. One of the most crucial aspects of managing time effectively is learning to eliminate distractions. In a world full of constant notifications, messages, and endless streams of information, staying focused has become increasingly difficult. Distractions not only eat up our time, but also our mental energy and productivity. To stop wasting time, it's essential to recognize the things that pull us away from our tasks and make a conscious effort to eliminate or minimize them. Distractions come in many forms. Some are external, like social media notifications, text messages, and phone calls, while others are internal, such as our wandering thoughts, procrastination tendencies, or even a desire for perfection. Regardless of the source, distractions break our focus and derail our progress, often causing us to spend more time on tasks than we would have if we had stayed focused from the beginning. The key to eliminating distractions is not only identifying them, but also understanding how to manage them effectively. The first step in eliminating distractions is to recognize when they happen. We've all experienced moments when we sit down to work, only to find ourselves checking our phones or browsing the web minutes later. This can happen so quickly that we don't even realize how much time has passed. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to what's pulling you away from your work. Notice the patterns in your behavior. Is it a certain app on your phone that always draws your attention? Is it the desire to check your email every few minutes? Identifying these distractions is the first part of gaining control over them. Once you're aware of the distractions, the next step is to set boundaries. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to be constantly available to others. However, constant interruptions can severely disrupt our flow and diminish our productivity. Setting boundaries means deciding when and how you'll allow yourself to engage with distractions. For example, you might decide to turn off your phone notifications during work hours or designate specific times throughout the day to check your email.
This helps you regain control of your time and creates periods of deep focus. The more you protect your time from interruptions, the more you'll be able to accomplish without constantly being pulled in different directions.
Another effective strategy for eliminating distractions is creating a distraction-free environment. The space in which you work plays a major role in your ability to concentrate. If your workspace is cluttered or full of distractions, it will be much harder to stay focused on the task at hand. Take time to organize your workspace, remove unnecessary items, and create an environment that fosters concentration. This could mean turning off notifications on your computer, using noise-canceling headphones, or choosing a quiet area to work. If you are working from home, it might involve setting boundaries with family or roommates to minimize interruptions. A clean, organized, and quiet space can help you stay in the zone and keep distractions at bay. Internal distractions such as wandering thoughts or mental fatigue are another significant obstacle to staying focused. Often our minds are filled with worry, stress, or the pressure to do everything perfectly, which can make it difficult to stay present. To combat this, it's important to develop strategies for managing your mind. This might include mindfulness techniques, such as taking deep breaths or practicing meditation, which can help center your focus and reduce mental clutter. It's also important to recognize when your brain needs a break. If you're feeling mentally drained, it's okay to step away for a short time and recharge. Allowing yourself to take breaks can help improve your focus in the long run, as it prevents burnout and keeps your energy levels up. Procrastination is another major internal distraction that often prevents us from staying on task. We may avoid certain tasks because they seem too challenging, boring, or overwhelming. This avoidance can be paralyzing and lead to wasted time. The key to overcoming procrastination is to break tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. By focusing on one small step at a time, you make the task feel less daunting, which makes it easier to start and stay on track. Additionally, setting deadlines for yourself and holding yourself accountable can help reduce the tendency to put things off. For those who struggle with perfectionism, it's important to recognize that the need to do everything perfectly can often lead to time wasted on insignificant details. Perfectionism can create unnecessary delays and prevent you from completing tasks efficiently. Learning to let go of the need for perfection and accepting that good enough is often sufficient can help you move forward with your work without getting bogged down in the details. It's important to remind yourself that progress is more valuable than perfection, and that making mistakes is a natural part of the process.
Eliminating distractions also involves making conscious decisions about what to focus on. This is where prioritization comes into play.
When you have a clear understanding of your priorities, it becomes easier to stay focused on the tasks that will move you closer to your goals and ignore the distractions that don't serve you. By narrowing your focus to what truly matters, you can eliminate the noise and stay on track. Eliminating distractions is about creating an environment and mindset that supports focus and productivity. It's about making deliberate choices to protect your time and energy from things that drain you. Whether it's external interruptions, internal struggles, or the lure of perfectionism, being proactive in addressing these distractions allows you to reclaim your time and use it more effectively. By reducing distractions, you create more space for the important work in your life, and ultimately you become more productive, fulfilled, and successful. Time management is often seen as the key to getting things done, but without a clear sense of purpose, all the time management techniques in the world won't lead to meaningful progress. To truly stop wasting time, we must learn to focus on what's truly important and meaningful to us, and not get lost in busy work or trivial tasks. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is by learning to focus on one task at a time. In a world where multitasking is often glorified, we've come to believe that juggling multiple things at once is a sign of efficiency and productivity. However, research shows that multitasking actually reduces productivity, increases stress, and makes us more prone to mistakes. Focusing on one task at a time, on the other hand, leads to greater clarity, higher quality results, and a greater sense of accomplishment. When we try to do multiple things at once, our brains don't actually perform each task simultaneously. Instead, they constantly switch back and forth between tasks, a process known as task switching. This constant switching creates a cognitive load that slows us down and makes us more likely to overlook important details. It can also lead to mental fatigue, leaving us feeling drained by the end of the day. In fact, studies have shown that the more we multitask, the less effective we become at any given task, as our brains are forced to constantly shift focus. By committing to focusing on one task at a time, we reduce this mental overload and increase the quality of our work. One of the most effective ways to develop single tasking is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness involves staying fully present in the moment and resisting the urge to get distracted by external stimuli or internal thoughts. By practicing mindfulness, we can train ourselves to be more aware of when our attention is drifting and refocus our minds back to the task at hand. Simple techniques such as focusing on our breath or taking brief pauses to check in with our thoughts can help us regain focus and avoid the temptation of switching between tasks. Mindfulness helps us learn to be more intentional with our time, ensuring that we aren't scattering our attention in too many directions. When it comes to focusing on one task at a time, it's also essential to create an environment that supports single tasking. This means eliminating distractions as much as possible. In today's digital age, we are often surrounded by a constant stream of notifications and alerts, whether from social media, email, or text messages. Each notification pulls us away from our task and demands our attention, often leading us to lose focus and waste precious time. To combat this, we can turn off notifications on our devices, close unnecessary browser tabs, or even use apps designed to block distractions during periods of focused work. Creating a distraction-free environment is essential if we want to make the most of our time and give our full attention to the task at hand. In addition to creating an environment free from distractions, we also need to set clear goals and deadlines for ourselves. Without a clear sense of direction, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the multitude of tasks and responsibilities that demand our attention. Having a clear, actionable plan helps us stay on track and ensures that we don't get sidetracked by less important activities. Breaking larger tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks also makes it easier to stay focused. Rather than feeling daunted by a massive project, we can tackle it piece by piece, ensuring that we make steady progress toward our goal. Setting deadlines for each task, no matter how small, also adds a sense of urgency and accountability, helping us stay motivated and on track.